Can you even see me? I'm dark. I'm wearing black. It's getting dark out here. I don't have any light. Well, I guess this crappy charger I have has light on it, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try to make this a little quick. So the interview. Let's talk about per Scholas. Let's talk about the interview. Um. Okay, so I'm gonna say. Okay, I can't tell you specific information. Um. I don't think everyone's interview experience is going to be different, but um once you've submitted all the stuff that is required of you, and they're going to communicate through emails. If they need more from you, they're going to let you know, but they're going to set you up with an interview date and a time that you need to confirm. It's going to be the one I did was by Zoom. I don't know if they do them in person or not. I have no idea, but the interview I did was by Zoom, and I, dressed professionally. I wasn't wearing a beanie and a t-shirt and all that. I wasn't sitting out in the car. I was in the house at a desk in front of a laptop with my hair done in a way that's like normal. Um, and I was wearing a shirt with a collar and a blazer over it. I was probably wearing slacks. I don't know if I was or not. Usually, I know people say you can wear whatever pants. I would say just for your own comfort, at least wear jeans. But I would say if you have slacks or something like some kind of professional pants, or if you're the type of person who wears a skirt or a dress, wear that. Um, I would say just dress professional and do it that way. Because say your camera falls, or say like you have a weird issue and you're on like a tripod of some kind, and it just kind of like slopes down because this is the day that it happens to break, and it's focused on like your lap, or like something falls, or like gets unfocused, and or you have to stand up for some reason or another, and your pants are like in focus of the camera. You don't want to be in your underwear. You don't want to be having no pants or anything on. You don't want to be in a towel. You don't want to be like wearing like some kind of like Barney board shorts or whatever, or like your gym clothes. Like, you know, it's it's probably not gonna happen to where anyone's gonna see your waist, but you want to just in case, you don't want to have some weird awkward situation. Um, so I would say keep it dressed professionally, all the way from head to toe. Um, Maybe you're wearing socks, maybe you're wearing sneakers, maybe you're wearing sandals. You could probably get away with that. But I would say wear nice pants or a skirt, or wear everything the right way. For professionalism. Even if you think it's just gonna be your head, wear like a shirt with a collar, wear a blouse, wear not just like a t-shirt or a tank top or something. Like, wear appropriate attire. Make an effort. Borrow it if you have to borrow it. Like, I'd say even if it doesn't really fit right, wear that, versus not wearing it. You'll feel better about it. You'll feel more confident. You can go to like the Goodwill or Salvation Army or something and get something to wear, or even, I mean, if you have to order something off Amazon and return it, just don't mess it up. But I didn't tell you to do that, but they're probably not gonna check, honestly. You're gonna be wearing it for like less than an hour, so I can't tell you to do that. But if you really are in like a financial position where you can't have the clothes, because that happens, I know that happens, but you want to do what you can do. You know, borrow your aunt's clothes, borrow your uncle's clothes, borrow your you know wear your old like school uniform, high school clip-on chapel tie or whatever if you went to like a religious school or something. Like, at least make the effort. Be online on time. Check your stuff. check, double check, triple check. You know, if you're like me and you write things in your planner and you've got a planner that's got the days planned out, like this planner has like, this planner has like, you know, has like this kind of calendar, and then it has like this kind of days. It's like September. I'm clearly not busy in September yet, but no, but yeah, it's May right now, but yeah, like sometimes you write something in one place and you don't write it in the other, or you might accidentally put the wrong, you'll put a calendar alert on your phone and then like you forget to put the alarm, or you turn your phone volume off and you don't hear the alert. Like, make sure you get the dates right of when the interview is going to be. Prepare for the interview. You're going to submit a lot of stuff before the interview. Prepare for the interview. Um, Treat it like a job interview. They're going to ask you kind of standard questions that if you've ever interviewed before, they're not going to be like off the wall questions. Like, practice more than once. I know it sucks to practice for interviews. I hate interviewing. I hate interviewing more than almost anything. Almost anything. I think I hate interviewing probably even more than public speaking. I hate interviewing. Um, you know, because you have to prepare for it, and so I get in interviews. I like before interviews. I get nervous. I get so much anxiety about the interview. I literally cannot even study for it sometimes. Like I get like almost like I get in like freeze mode about it. Like I'm like I can't. I have to like force myself to like put things in order and like just sit and like write it down and then rehearse it and get comfortable, cuz if you get uncomfortable on the spot, that's going to be a little rough. When you start getting uncomfortable and then you're like, "Oh no, I'm uncomfortable. They're going to notice I'm uncomfortable." Try to have tricks where you make yourself comfortable. Like, I'm not saying like make an inappropriate joke. Don't do that. Don't like start joking and making it like unserious or some kind of like weird, awkward, like knock knock jokes and stuff. Like, keep it professional, but you know, you know, try to have something that's pleasant that, you know, I don't know. One thing that helps me is I always try to ask, I don't know if I even did this, but when they ask you how you are and stuff, and then I kind of ask them like, "Oh, like how's your day? How are you doing?" Like after they kind of ask me that, because they're usually going to ask you that first thing, and I kind of ask them how they're doing. I don't try and get like all up in their business, but it's like I try to like show some kind of like interest, and like they kind of seem to calm down from when I ask like, "How are you doing? Like, how's your day? Like, how's your afternoon?" Hopefully you're doing good. And then they'll kind of maybe tell you, "Oh, like, yeah, like," or if it's right after lunch and be like, "Oh, like, how's your day? Like, did you have a pretty good lunch?" Like, just something like not inappropriate, um friendly but not like weird. Just for me that works, just to kind of, because it's someone I've never spoken to in my life, and I'm like, at least now we've both said hi, how we are, your name, introduce yourself, ask them how they're doing. They kind of tell you their name, they introduce themselves and kind of tell you how they're doing. And you're like, "Oh, okay, like, oh, that's really cool," or whatever you say after that, But, you know, try to do good at the interview. Try to practice. You're gonna submit a bunch of stuff, so at least remember what you submitted. Um, they might ask you about some of the stuff, and they might ask you to explain it. Don't lie on the stuff that you submit, because if you don't know how to talk about what it is that they're, like some people will tell you for interviews or for applications, embellish, like put all these like degrees and things that you don't have, or put all this stuff that you've never done, because no one's going to check you on it. They're going to check you on it. So don't lie, because if you're like, "Oh, yeah, I learned Python programming a little bit," and they're like, "Oh, how did you do that? What was the process?" And you're just like, "I don't know." It's like, Well, yeah, I got this book at Barnes and Noble and watched this tutorial from this specific, YouTuber that I used to follow, step by step, and like watch what they did and pause it and then go and do it myself. You know, like they might know some of the people you're talking about, the books you're talking about, the magazines that you're talking about. They might know that kind of stuff. Because they're people in the same field that you're trying to go into. So, you can't really BS your way through it. If you don't have experience, I mean, everyone has some kind of experience in tech because we're always using technology. Unless you're raised like Amish or Mennonite or Hasidic or some kind of like, you were raised completely off the grid somewhere to where you just, you know, didn't use technology at all. I mean, you probably used the electronics. You probably had to wire electricity somehow, through a car battery even or something. You probably had some experience with electricity at least, maybe, but it's very rare that people have like none these days. I know there are cultures and subcultures where people have none, but you could probably talk even about your experience, like first learning about technology. But you want to know why you want to do this, because it's a choice that you're trying to get into a career opportunity. It's a long-term decision. It's not just like, oh, I just wanted to take this class because it's free, and then you're gonna be like busting your butt in this class. Like it's a hard class. It takes 6 to 8 hours on a minimum out of most of your weekdays. And then you're still doing stuff like a lot of us were studying before class. I knew some classmates that talked about like staying up all night and doing stuff. Some people had kids, wives, tried to be working other jobs and stuff, like, and everyone was just in the same boat. We're all just trying to like get a career opportunity that's better than whatever we're doing now. Um, and trying to get something better, trying to get a leg up. So, treat it like that. Treat it like you're making a career move and be professional about it and be honest on things. If you don't know something, don't try to BS, but you can say that you don't know it, and you can say, well, I still want to try to like explain what I think. Um, but practice, and I can't say don't be nervous because a lot of us are nervous, but you can still own it and still try your best and not let the fear of everything get in your way of not doing things. Sometimes you have to just be scared doing stuff and be uncomfortable doing stuff, because that's what this is going to be for a lot of things. Like most people going into this course, you're going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to know everything. You're going to ask questions, or they're going to start lecturing about stuff that you're like, I'm really not good with networking. I don't really understand this part of networking. I really don't understand this Linux command prompt stuff. Like, I really don't understand it that good, and you're going to be sitting there and they're going to be like, okay, get in your groups and like do this project together just on the fly. And you're just going to have to like do it with a group of people. Maybe even people you've never even worked with before. You're going to be in a group of like 4 or 5 people online trying to like submit something before you have to, you have to go into before you can even log off. Your day ends when they say it ends, and you know your group's not going to be able to log off when you want to log off. Like, they'll give you the time to do it, but if it's 2 p.m. and your class ends at 4 p.m. and you're in a group of people who are new to each other, you know just like you would be at work. Sometimes it's like, oh, you got to work with Joe and Sue and you've never worked with them before, and you got to bang out this project because the boss is like, Joe and Sue and you work together and get this done by close of business. Like, I want you guys to go through and audit all these charts, and you're going to be like, okay, like, I got to do, like, let's divvy them up, and, you're going to have to do your share of the work. And maybe you're not going to know everything, but you're going to have to look it up. But, you want to show that you know how to do things. You don't want to come across as, like, that you don't really know. But yeah, it is a normal, regular interview. It's just like a job interview. That's the best I can describe it, is that it's like a job interview. So if you've done job interviews before, and if you've done them online, and you've done them on Zoom or, Microsoft Teams or something, it's a job interview. It's Treat it like a job. Treat the whole experience like a job. You're you know you're gonna to have the professional attire by the time class starts because there's a dress code anyway. So you might as well know what you're gonna wear um to the interview. Like if you don't have it by the interview, how are you gonna have it for class? Like give yourself the time um to even get to the interview phase. Get the work done before the interview. You'll, at the very least, by the time you've submitted all the work that they say to submit before the interview, you will, at the very, very least, have all that work that you've submitted. So if you do all the steps that they say just for the application itself, you will have done tech prep work. You would have earned 2 Cisco certifications for free. You will have um, submitted a lot of information about what career path you think you're going to be in, what it kind of looks like for you, what you think you want to do. You're going to want to know why you want to do that. Like, you know, it's almost just like a job. Like you can't just come in there and just be like, I want a job because I want money. And even if that's realistic, that's all you want, like a company isn't going to take that seriously. Like you still have to go through the effort to research the site, research what they do, know about them, um know if you want the remote class, like know what you want, like you can't just go in blind. But if you've done all the stuff, all the work beforehand and done your research beforehand, you'll be fine in the interview. You'll be fine if you tried and you did everything that they said and you did all that they recommended, even if it's not required. Do everything they recommended to do. You'll have plenty to talk about in that interview because you will have just done it within like the past couple weeks, and just at least review that stuff. Review what you submitted. You don't want to send something on your resume that you don't even know was on there and be like, oh, I see that you made this website. Like, oh, I didn't know that link was still on there. People might look at it, like you don't want some weird old YouTube channel that you're like embarrassed to share, like as a link on your on your resume, and you're like submitting this out to people and they're on there like looking at your YouTube with you doing all these like weird dances and stuff. It's like, maybe check what's on your resume, check what's on the application that you send. Know what's on there, know how to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, maybe don't put it on there. um I know that's maybe not all good advice because I can't really give you specifics, but treat it just like you would a job interview. Study how to do job interviews for tech sites. Talk to the people. You can talk to these people. They're available for you to call them and talk to them. Like, don't anxiously call them like every single day of the week or whatever and be weird about it, but keep it professional. Um, but yeah, it's getting dark. I don't even know if I'm like visible, but it's getting kind of dark and I'm getting kind of tired because I've been recording out here for a long time. So I hope this was helpful. I know this is blurry, but I hope it was helpful. And I'm gonna keep recording bit by bit, so you guys will have these episodes out. And I'm gonna put my links in the description. If you want to go buy my links, it's up. Not buy, like purchase, but if you want to use my links to find out more about this class and sign up, you are more than welcome to use mine. I, would get, it is an affiliate link, but you don't have to use it. You're not required. I'm not gonna know one way or another. And then yeah, if you have questions, there are people within those links where it can point you to the right people to ask. Um, and I'm trying, I do have audio recordings of these same topics, but I don't know if I'm gonna post them. If I do, the links will be in the description. And then, all right, I'm gonna get on with my evening. So that's it for now. Thanks for listening.